My fiancée tried to force the hotel manager to lie when she saw her kissing another guy, so I cancelled the wedding because of all the lies she told. Today should have been my wedding day, the happiest day of my life, marrying the love of my life. But here I am, in this thread, writing about my miserable life. I, at 37, was supposed to marry Brianna, 29, today. I had proposed to her, and she was excited about it. We've been seeing each other for almost 2 years now, and I felt it was the right time to exchange vows. You see, I'm more of a boring, introverted nerd. If you asked me to plan an event, I'd probably just gather the bare essentials and call it done. So when she offered to take charge, I happily handed her my credit card. That was my contribution to our wedding. Brianna wanted to hire a wedding planner for the big day. She was involved in every detail of the event. I wanted the wedding to be in a month, but she said it would take at least 3 months to pull off the kind of wedding she wanted. I agreed to do it her way. I met the organizer once to finalize the deal, and the next time I saw them, my world fell apart. Brianna selected 2 wedding planners to meet with and choose one. We decided on Mara. She was very good at her job. That was it. I knew the preparations were underway. I kept busy at work, trying to finish my tasks before the wedding. We had planned a week-long honeymoon in Paris, so before that I had to finish my work. Brianna used to keep me updated on the progress, and I was fine with that. The planning was going well. Then one day, Brianna told me that Mara had had an accident and fractured her knee. She'll be in a cast for the next 6 weeks. In his absence, his brother would be taking care of his work. A few days later, I asked Brianna if everything was going well, and she said yes. Mara's brother was handling it well. 2 weeks before our wedding, the venue we had previously chosen had to be cancelled due to the sudden rain forecast for those dates. It was an outdoor venue, so we had to switch to something indoors. They chose the banquet hall of a 5-star hotel. Brianna asked me to take some time to visit the new venue and write them a check. I took 2 hours off work, picked up Brianna, and drove to the place. Mara was there with her brother. She had recovered from her injuries, but her brother was still handling the arrangements. The 4 of us were waiting for the manager in charge of the reservation to arrive. A few minutes later, a middle-aged woman arrived. She introduced herself as the banquet hall manager and went straight over to greet Brianna, saying, "You must be the bride. The glow on your face speaks for itself." Our friends also said that Brianna had been radiant ever since I proposed to her. Although the wedding could be one reason, there were other factors as well. Brianna paled when she saw that woman and interrupted her. After hugging Brianna, that woman greeted Mara's brother and said, "You're a lucky man to have such a beautiful woman as your fiancée. It's no wonder you couldn't keep your hands off her." Brianna smiled and interjected, "There must have been some misunderstanding." The woman, trying to reassure Brianna, said, "Oh, don't be embarrassed. You two are so in love and will be getting married soon. I run this hotel, and I see a lot of couples kissing in the elevator every day, so it's no big deal to me." Mara sensed the awkwardness of the situation and intervened, but it was too late. She said, "Okay, we're here to discuss the final budget for the venue." I got up and left without saying a word. I couldn't just sit there pretending nothing had happened. I understood exactly what was happening there. Brianna ran after me, trying to stop me. I slammed the elevator door in her face, ran to the parking lot, and drove off. I could see her chasing my car in the basement. That 15-minute drive to work was the hardest trip for me. My phone kept ringing with her calls and voicemails. I arrived at the office, but I really wasn't in any condition to work. I asked the receptionist not to transfer any calls or meetings that day, and I cancelled all pending ones for the next day. In response to hundreds of missed calls from Brianna, I answered. She said, "That's not how things work. There's a misunderstanding." The woman admitted that she might have mistaken me for someone else and wants to apologize to you. "Could you please come and meet with her one more time?" I said, "I'm no fool here." She insisted that I meet her again to clear up the confusion. I hung up without saying anything. I didn't answer her after that call. In the afternoon, I received a call from Mara. She said she was sorry for interfering in our personal matter, but she also asked me to meet with that woman and see for myself what she had to say. I said, "I don't know, I'm not in the right frame of mind right now." After giving it a lot of thought, I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt and meet with that woman. I didn't tell Mara or Brianna about it. The next day, I went back to the hotel and asked about that woman. They escorted me to her office, and she apologized to me. She said she might have seen someone else and mistaken her for Brianna. His reason didn't convince me. I mean, she could be confusing one person for another, but not both. She said, "Maybe I saw Brianna and that young man together during their visit to the place." The next moment, I saw another couple kissing and got confused. I asked if she could show me the elevator camera footage from the day Brianna visited the place. Suddenly, she turned pale and stammered that she couldn't. It was beyond her company's policy to show camera footage to outsiders. This security policy was understandable, but his behavior still seemed suspicious to me. I asked her why she was apologizing to me. She said she was worried about being fired from her job if Mara complained to the hotel owner about interfering in guests' affairs. I mean, the hotel lost reservations because of your gossip. I said, look, I don't believe your reason at all, but if you're worried about your job, I can assure you it won't be affected. I called Mara right in front of that woman and told her I was canceling the venue reservation and that she shouldn't do anything to jeopardize the woman's job. Mara asked me if I had met with that woman. I said yes, and that she had cleared up the confusion on her end, but she still wanted to cancel the wedding, and it had nothing to do with the hotel manager. Mara said she was fine and hung up. That woman thanked me for that. As I was leaving, she asked for my card. I gave it to her. Later that night, I got a call from her, and she told me that she had actually seen Brianna with that wedding planner guy, and there was no confusion. She had agreed to lie to me to save his job. Brianna had begged her to lie, and she had even gently threatened to complain to management about his meddling behavior. I asked her why she was telling the truth now. She said I was kind to her, and she wanted me to know the truth. Because she had had a broken home due to an unfaithful husband, she understands the pain of betrayal. Fair enough. I didn't tell anyone about this. I'm not that sociable. My work keeps me busy. I have a close bond with my siblings, but I didn't tell them or my mom either. Meanwhile, Brianna kept sending me sweet messages and selfies. I still haven't blocked her, or even confronted her about the truth. Although I discovered the truth at my first meeting with this woman, meeting with her for the second time made me reflect on Brianna's cruelty. I mean, how could she stoop so low as to threaten that woman's job and force her to lie? Now I wonder if I really knew the woman I was supposed to marry today. Edit, I didn't go home that day. I spent the night in my office. The next day, I met with that woman at the hotel, and things became clear. That night, I called Mara and asked her to come to my office. When she was here, I told her I wanted to terminate the contract. I was willing to pay whatever was required under her policy and something extra as compensation for her loss, but she politely declined. She charged me what was in the contract. He even gave me an extra refund out of empathy. But I think it's his fault because our lives were ruined by his despicable brother. She said she would start the contract termination process and send me an email. It was settled. Brianna was still texting me, asking me when I'm going to come home and sending all those loving, affectionate messages. She got upset when Mara sent the contract termination email. Brianna panicked, called me, and asked me to come home so we could talk about this like adults. I replied that she needs to move out of my house, and that there's nothing more to talk about. She came to my office, but I asked my receptionist not to let her into my office and to tell her I was busy. I called her and asked her to leave. I told her I wasn't in any state to have a rational conversation with her, and that she shouldn't bother me for a while. She moved out of the house with her essentials, but left the car. It was a gift from me on his last birthday. I've stayed strong until now, but today was supposed to be my wedding day. The calls from friends and family are making it worse. I've had my phone turned off since this morning. Update 1. For the next week, I lived in a cocoon. I limited my conversations to my boss alone for work-related matters. I asked my wedding planner to do me a favor and send a cancellation email to all the guests. That triggered a flood of calls and text messages from pretty much everyone. My side of the family was worried about me. Meanwhile, her family and friends were after me, trying to get us to reconcile. Brianna kept telling everyone that she had called off the wedding because of some stupid misunderstanding. I didn't care. After a week of being depressed, I had to get to work. I don't have the luxury of simply moving out of town and disappearing like others I've read about on this subreddit. I wish I had that luxury. Now I'm cursing myself for even trying to get into this love thing. Fortunately, I've been away from all this for a long time. I should have stayed that way. My friends were right when they said I was late for the wedding bells. It has to do with my family situation. My dad passed away when I was in my senior year of college, leaving his manufacturing business to me. I have a younger sister and brother. My sister was a freshman when Dad passed away, and my brother was still in high school, so everything fell on me. Our business wasn't at the multinational level that it could operate with a board of directors and trustees without the owner's presence. It's a mid-sized manufacturing business where someone really needs to run the show to survive. I was quick to jump on board and take charge. We had no other choice. We had a home mortgage and college tuition to finance for my siblings and support my mom. She's not a woman who works. I worked hard to learn the business and tried to scale it. I was so busy all these years that my love life had been a disaster. I had a few flings here and there, but nothing ever got serious, not even casual relationships. Mostly, it was just one-night stands. I met Brianna 2 years ago at a party thrown by a mutual friend. She was so cheerful and lively that I couldn't take my eyes off her. We started out with something casual, and I didn't realize when I fell in love with her. She deserves a lot of credit for putting up with my busy schedule. She's been patient and has accommodated my work commitments. That's why, when she said she wanted a wedding exactly the way she wanted it, I readily agreed. She deserved to have a dream wedding. That's what I thought until now. I haven't told many people the reason our wedding was called off. Mom and my siblings knew, and as for everyone else, they don't need to know. Brianna showed up at my mom's house, thinking she didn't know the truth. She asked Mom to help us reconcile. Out of respect, Mom didn't reveal the truth and said she'd ask me to call her. I didn't want to, but Mom convinced me to get closure. It's even necessary to move forward. All the questions of why and when need to be answered. I'm not sure if I really need closure or if I'll just move on without it. I'll do it if I feel the need to have the answers. By the way, I've canceled our honeymoon reservations for Paris. It was covered by insurance, so I got a refund. Pretty much everything, except for the flight reservation. I canceled it at the last minute. A note for those who call her a gold digger: please don't use that word. I don't want to put all kinds of labels on her just because she cheated on me. She cheated on me, and I called off the wedding, that's all. I don't want to be unnecessarily disrespectful toward her. Update 2. Brianna showed up at my door the day before. I knew she'd eventually do it. If this had happened earlier, maybe I would have gotten a restraining order against her. But now I think my anger has subsided. The pain is still there, but I think I was at least ready to listen to her now. I let her in. She wanted to hug me, but I stopped her. Before she even started talking, I said, "I know the truth, so you'd better not try to manipulate me." She was speechless for a moment and said, "I'm here to confess," and went on to say that the infidelity was never intentional, it just happened. One thing led to another. When Mara injured her knee, she was terrified by all the arrangements and also a bit annoyed. Her brother took over her work, and I got more involved to make sure everything was perfect. The first 2 or 3 times, I didn't even notice it that closely. Our conversation was very professional. It was only when we went to the wedding dress fitting, and the way he meticulously selected everything to match my taste and elegance, that I noticed it. He was being very kind and sweet to me. I'm sorry, I know I was wrong. Somehow I fell in love with his comments about my beauty and features without even realizing it. I was seeking validation from him. It was so flattering, I couldn't resist. She broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. I asked her when they crossed the line. She asked if I really wanted to know all the details. I said yes. She said, "When we went to visit the hotel venue, he picked me up. I was impressed by his chivalry in the car. He was trying to kiss me, but I didn't kiss him back. But eventually we kissed in the elevator. That was when that manager happened to see us. She saw us again as we were leaving the hotel. We were kissing again. I asked her if that was all it was. Did he stutter? No. Then we booked a room at the same hotel and did it 2 or 3 times. I got so angry that I had to get up and take a walk on the front porch to get some air. Was that all? She said yes. And then, the next day, that woman at the hotel revealed the truth. Brianna was also choking from her heavy breathing. I realized that her guilt was giving her a hard time. She looked pathetic. She kept crying and apologizing. I couldn't hold back my tears. She grabbed my arms and asked if there was even the slightest chance of us getting back together. I said no. She let the planner's brother sleep with her because he praised her. For so little, she cheated on me. I can't trust someone so superficial. I mean, if her reason is that his flattery got her into bed, then there might be many areas where I fell short, and others are good at that. I'm busy at work. I'm not the romantic type. I'm introverted and not very good at giving compliments. This means that every time she meets a guy who has qualities I don't, she'll cheat on me. She said I was indirectly calling her a prostitute. I said I wasn't labeling her, but just stating the facts. She had never cheated on me in all these years, and she had never found me incompetent or said that my love was enough for her. I wish it were, but it isn't. I don't want to live with a constant feeling of insecurity, that she might meet someone better and destroy everything all over again. There were several rounds of breakdowns, crying, and apologies for hours. I realized it wasn't working. It was getting worse for both of us, especially for me. I was growing weak and giving in to her tears, so I showed my true colors and got up to leave. I told her I had packed up her remaining things and put them in the garage. She didn't say anything and kept sobbing. I came back an hour later, and she was gone. I checked the garage, she had taken her things. I feel lighter after that. Actually, the closure helped me. I didn't think I needed it, but I'm glad I listened to my mom and gave it a try. Update 3. This is mostly my last update. I might delete the account later. Updating here has helped me clear my mind and move forward. Thank you to everyone who made me feel like I'm not alone in this. I've unblocked Brianna, but I've also made it clear to her that we're not going to be together. Now she understands and doesn't bother me. She also confessed the truth to his parents, who then called me to apologize. After I canceled the wedding, they were literally threatening to come after me. After learning the truth, they apologized for that. I said it was okay and that I understood. I don't have any bad feelings toward them. Now that my anger has subsided, I feel that maybe I also played a role in this infidelity. I need to work on expressing my feelings and letting my loved ones know how much I love them. Communication has been my problem. I love my family and would give my legs and arms for them, but I've rarely told them I love them. The same goes for Brianna. I loved her more than anything else, but I wasn't generous in expressing that feeling. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, but I didn't tell her that enough. I'm not justifying her cheating at all, nor am I planning any reconciliation, but I feel like I didn't do enough. I've scheduled an appointment with a therapist and hope to work on this aspect of my personality. I don't want any serious relationship right now, at least not in the near future. Heartbreak is hard. It's very difficult. Thank you for reading this and participating in my post. I appreciate all feedback, both good and bad.